welcome guys. I just wanted to bring you guys this video. This was announced. So they announced Elder Scrolls Online announced a like a combat update. Brian Wheeler put it out. And this is kind of flown under the radar largely. Like this came out, I think it was like the 4th. No one's really talked about this. It sort of flew under the radar on the like the official forums. And like in general in the game, and there's some changes in here, specifically this change that I wanted to make this video for, because it actually as a stamina dragon knight for PvE, like DPS, this is potentially I don't say disastrous, because we haven't actually seen like the PTS patch notes yet. We won't get them for like another week. But this is sort of concerning, and I wanted to make a video and hopefully make more people aware. And like I said, not to like raise any alarms or anything, because we haven't actually seen any of the other changes yet. But basically this change here, it's this is, I guess, what they're looking to do. Again, grain of salt. It says single target dots have been a long-standing group of abilities that were not consistent in their application of damage. Looking at these types of abilities, duration, tick frequencies, and delays, a consistent pattern of application was missing from ability to ability. Some of these abilities have been used as spammable abilities, such as Searing Strike, despite that being against their design. In this pass, meaning like they're going over, in this patch, they're going over things and looking, to tweak things and fix things. It says, we're restructuring them to follow standard behavior. Now, it says, if there was an initial hit about casting one of these abilities, there will always be a delay between the initial hit and the first tick. If there was no initial hit, there would be no delay. And then it says delays, i.e. abilities that doesn't hit immediately, will always be the same duration as the dot's frequency which ticks, meaning like that last one, I think, meaning like slows, like there's a delay. Okay, so this is what I'm concerned about, and what all Stam DKs I feel like should be worried about, because this means for Stam DK specifically, and it may end up affecting Stamina Templars, and it may end up affecting Stam Sorks. Basically, for a long time, Stamina Dragonites were using Venomous Claw and Rending Slashes as a spammable. We don't have a class spammable. We don't have anything used as a class spammable. So what happens is, if you spam Venomous Claw, it's very cheap spammable, and if you spam it, the dot stays up, right? And if you spam Rending Slash, it's the same thing. The dot keeps ticking, right? And it's cheap, so you can use it as a spammable. We don't have a spammable. We had to use these. This is saying is if you use Rending Slashes or Venomous Claw, and then you spam it and use it again, the delay, if you don't let that delay happen, that 1 or 2 second or how many ever second delays they're going to put in this ability, or Rending Slashes, it won't actually apply the dot. Is potentially what this means. We don't know specifically what the delay is going to be or how it's going to affect. I mean, they literally said Searing Strike. But yeah, so potentially Stam DKs are losing their spammables, both of them. And I don't know what we would use. Like, there's a lot of people who are saying, oh, we'll use Crushing Weapon, which is the Physic skill line. Problem is, that's paywalled. It's paywalled. Have to buy Somerset for that. Have to. So, like, I'm not exactly amenable to, like, Stam DK. You're telling me that the entire class of Stamina Dragon Knight potentially could have its only spammable locked behind paywall. Like, that's where I start to kind of get concerned. We'll see. Like I said, we haven't seen the patch notes yet. There's people saying there's going to be a flurry rapid strikes change, which could be good. I see people saying, I've had people, because I've talked to a lot of people about this. I've had people tell me that use a two-hander because they're buffing two-handers. I think it's in these notes. Let me see if I can find it. See if I can. Here it is. So they're reworking cleave. They're increasing the damage by 50%, removing the bleed. Carve retains the bleed. Damage increased by 25%. Again, you couldn't spam this because it's a dot. Yeah, this is a dot. So you're not going to be able to use that. And then Brawler, they remove the bleed and increase the shield. So you get a shield, but again, like my whole thing with that is I asked my friends, I said, you know, are we going to be forced? Are we going to be the only class in the game is going to be forced to use a two-hander or stamp swords? Or, you know, we're going to be like the only classes in the game being forced to use a two-hander. Like, that's not the answer. That's not the answer. It's not like that's not balanced. You're not gonna like that's not class identity, and it's not balanced to make one class use a two-hander when all the other classes can use two-handers of dual wield. So like, we'll see what happens. You know, this makes me very, very nervous, and I wish more people were having a conversation about this stuff. Constructive conversations, not like, you know, setting off alarms or anything. Hey, but let me show you guys. I wanted to pull this up. I wanted to show you guys what I mean by this change, how this is going to affect Stamdy case specifically, possibly. So, what happens now is I do this, right? So what happens now is you do this, right? We do like an ability. We'll do the rotation. So the rotation here is actually like light attack, and then like this, and then so what happens here is you do 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So what happens here is I can just keep spamming this, and you can see the dot keeps ticking. Like, you see the dots ticking up there? The dot's ticking, right? So what's going to happen is if you potentially what it means is what it probably will look like is you slash an enemy with both weapons to cause deep lacerations, dealing 1900 physical damage with each weapon, and after 1 second or 2 seconds, causing them to bleed for 9,700 damage, right? That would mean that if you just did this and use it as a spammable, like we do a rotation here, what that would potentially mean is each time I spam this, I'm not actually getting the dot damage at all. And I'm going to show you what that dot damage actually looks like. Sec. It's actually like, look, it's a well, I don't, sorry, cars, but I'll pull up a parse real quick. Pull up a recent one. So you can see like rending slashes is no joke. Like this is no joke at all. That's a lot of that's a lot of lost damage. Like we're talking about the ability that's like what, 5th in the list or 6th in the list. It's gonna be gone potentially. Like you wouldn't be able to use it as spammable. And it's the same thing. And it's the same thing for Venomous Claw. Same thing for Venomous Claw. You see how cheap it is? I could literally spam that all day. And it's the same concept. Like it doesn't the dot. You can see the dot just keeps ticking. Because the only reason we had to revert to that is because if you look at Stamina Dragon Knight, we don't have a spammable. We don't have one. Not even this. You wouldn't even be able to use Noxious Breath as spammable, which you shouldn't do. But I'm just saying, like, you wouldn't even be able to use that. There's been a lot of people who say they should make a whip, stamina whip. I would love that. But yeah, I mean, this is all like support, and this is all like support. Like, there's no active ability. It's either this or this. Now, Bloodthirsty or Flurry, potentially, or Rapid Strikes, they're saying potentially, or I guess they're looking at changing this, which would be what I guess we could use as a spammable, although weaving this is kind of booty. It was never my favorite. This used to be meta. And then Shrouded Daggers could potentially be spammable again. You can use this in a stamp circuit, a lot of people do. But again, this might be affected by that too, because it's like we're gonna see, and we'll see what they do. But yeah, that's the video, guys. You guys feel free to talk about this in the comment section. I want to have more conversation about this like in the next week, before the patch notes. If you like my video, feel free to subscribe. If you like the, feel free to hit the thumbs up button. Put out content Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And I stream over at twitch.tv/berserk_Zod. Yeah, hope to see you guys soon. Bye.